What's going on, guys? Pegasus and the Wise guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you sub, make sure you hit the bell, guys. Got first place with this couple locals and bubbled out of a case tourney yesterday. So I just wanted to do the profile just because I put it in the community page and it was going to come anyway. And this is one of the best versions of Drytron right now. This is the Megalith version. So let's get into it. It's very, very powerful. All of the Drytron options have their drawbacks and good things about them, I guess, in today's meta. With Tearlament and with Sprite, you have really powerful decks that operate in layers, and so that's why I have some of the card choices that I have. And everybody's playing Dark Ruler, and Artifact Side beats that. So let's get into it. I played double Diviner to start off. My Fairy Search targets. I'm playing 2 Diviner. I'm not playing Orange Light just because. One, I moved the ultis because they're very high priced right now because the Shizu support is coming out. But 2, because you don't actually need the orange light specifically. It'll help you. I cut I to 10, so I'm like, the less fairies that I'm playing, I just want to get to the combo. And yes, you can have an orange light like help protect your combo, but if your combo went well, and you have followed, like, you just don't need the orange light per se, and it can be a little bit bricky. So I just play double Diviner and the other 2 fairy targets most of the time. If I don't get this off Dagda, I get it off of the last bin 10. Sometimes that happens where you don't open quite enough names, so you have to search this off bin 10 occasionally. And then obviously this is a primary search target off of bin 10 as well, whether it be full, whether it be early on, if you open Diviner already. You know, sometimes those things are just certain options that you can have. Sometimes you just want to get to this first and not waste 2 bodies on a Dagda. That happens. It's something you kind of have to find as you play the deck. I played for the names. Alpha searches, Alpha searches the ritual monsters, in case you have been under a rock or something like that. Zeta searches the ritual spell. So Alpha Zeta is one of the best combos in the game right now. This deck, for sure, thoroughly relies on you opening Alpha Zeta. So that's why I'm using most of this as a way to open this as much as possible, and that's why I kind of have the ratio that I have. As you'll see, triple gamma, a lot of people are cutting this down to 2, my bad. Triple gamma, just my opinion. Yeah, people are cutting it to 2. I want to see 2 names on the field, so I want to see that as much as possible. That's just me. Because I'm playing Prosperity 1 Delta and I'm playing 1 Beta, this helps you play around DD Crow. It helps you play around like Shifter and stuff like that, where you may want a card back in the graveyard to be able to trigger it where you couldn't trigger it in the banished pile. That does come up, and I still wanted the name, and because I'm playing Prosperity, I couldn't play double Delta, so I just went with this name. It does come up. It is, and off of your big Draconids effect, which is this guy, he also comes up because you'll banish some names and you can put them right back in the grave. So this is actually better than you think it is, trust me. I wouldn't necessarily say you would need to play it in another version, or if you're playing like no Prosperity, you can play triple Delta. I would still want to play that name. That's just me. Draconids is the guy that just pushes through Artifact Scythe. If you get Scythe locked, if you droplet or Dark Ruler somebody and you summon off of 2 names that are on the field, not off of Fafnir, you can pretty much clear the board with this by itself. And it helps you play around Droll as well. There's plenty of stuff that this card helps you with, so that's why you have to play it. And your opponent's gonna put big ass monsters like Arrival at Ignister, and I'm not playing I to 10. This can actually just punch right over Arrival at times. So I mean, this card is very powerful. I would just highly doubt you would want to play I to 10. I'm playing double Benton and Natasha. You can play the I to 10. It can come up. I do have the Lost Art. I do want to play it. It's just not necessary right now. That's my opinion. The loops, unless I'm playing like M7 or stuff like that, I don't really play I to 10 unless I'm playing M7. That's just how I kind of tie it in. Those names are just fine. Natasha is one of the silliest cards in the game. The only deck that it kind of is weird against is Sprite, and it's only if they're a good Sprite player. They'll know what I'm talking about. Double Ophiel, and then 1 full and 1 Bathor. Ophiel searches, so you basically start off the combo. You want to grab this off Alpha if you don't already have the setup with Benton, or you want to get this off of your Diviner normal summon. You'll see this in the combo. And then from there, the Ophiel actually gets to the full, and the full gets you to another Ophiel. And it helps you play around Nibiru, which a lot of people have stopped playing around Nibiru, or they disrespect Nibiru just because of the format that we're in. Nibiru is still a powerful card, and I still play around it because I have to. And with the Diviner and with the Ophiel, when you normal summon that, send an Arclight, that makes it level 6. 6 and 4 is 10. That's how you can get to that. Or you can sometimes late in the combo still end on Baron with the second Ophiel that you'll summon in that combo as well, in case something kind of went wonky. Those things happen. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh enough, you know how the combo doesn't go exactly as planned, but you still have to get there. That's how you get there. Baythor basically clears boards. A lot of times when I scythe lock people, they're playing some deck like Flunder or something like that, and so then they try to like set up or whatever. And then if I can beat them or cut them off from like the Wind Barrier statue, shout out to Flunder, I love the deck, or Eldritch or something like that, this just blows them out of the water. So Baythor is an absolute necessity as well, in my opinion. As far as the spells, I played triple Prosperity. Prosperity is very, very good in a deck like this because you're going to brick sometimes because of the sheer versatility of what you're playing, and sometimes it doesn't interact perfectly. Prosperity can help you get there, or it can be huge ash bait to help you push through the rest of your plays. So Prosperity and the math behind it is sensational. You don't need to play Prosperity. You can just play triple Delta and stuff like that. But the more I get away from the 40 count, the more I play this card. And even in a 40 count deck, I still would want to play this card. I like seeing cards. So Prosperity is Prosperity. But it's not necessary if you don't have a card. It's not necessary to winning, but it does help you to see your side cards and help you see a lot of other stuff as well, like your combo pieces. Drytron Nova, getting into the stuff that you want to combo off with. Drytron Nova helps you to see pretty much any name that you want to. A lot of people have been cutting this to 2 because of the redundancy. I completely understand. As well as emergency, some people are cutting it. The redundancy of only being able to activate 1 a turn. If I was playing 40, I would consider cutting these. If you want to cut this down to 40, you could cut some of these. I would recommend putting Mystic Mine in here somewhere, and you'll see it in a second as to why I'm saying that. I didn't actually play it. Still been doing well without it, but you know, mine is so powerful you have to play it, guys. Just play the damn card. Triple Droplet. This is where I kind of differed in what I was doing. I wanted to push through everybody's board. Draconid's pushing through a lot of stuff. The Drytron names being free discards, a lot like Infernoid effects. Anything that can happen in the grave, it's just really, really stupid. However, you got to be careful with Artifact and Shifter. You know, with the Shifter and with Arclight, I don't know if I say Artifact. With Arclight, Shifter, stuff like that, if you don't have the spell to discard, then you know, Droplet is like, And a lot of people are starting to see like Arclight is really, really good. The Tri-Brigade deck with Sprite itself. I could go on. Just understand about Droplet, but Droplet is so strong at pushing through a board, and with the combo of Draconids, it's ignorant. Also with Dark Ruler is Dark Ruler right now. Everybody's playing it. You have to play it. I kind of want to play cards like Crossouts just because everybody's playing like the same cards, and it's kind of Reaperish. And I'll be doing some testing with to see if I don't know about Crossout in this deck, but definitely feel like Crossout is just a powerful card you need to consider. Double Preparation of Rites. Now guys, with prep, you normally want to open the bin 10, obviously, and yeah, you will open the bin 10 most of the time the way that you want. But in case you don't, you just want to grab that, and then having the second one come up where most of the time you activate this one, you just get into the bin 10, and this can help you later on mid-game to put the ritual spell back in your hand in key moments. So, you know, it's just something that is necessary in the deck a bit, you know. Feather Duster probably isn't that necessary, but I hate back row. You'll see my side deck too. Foolish Burial, Called by the Grave, Meteonis Drytron, and Fafnir. So obviously I would add a Terraforming and a Mystic Mine, and if you wanted to go really balls to the wall, you just do the Justin Sing stuff and play all of the ritual spells. All of the field spells like Ritual Sanctuary, and then the Terraforming, the set rotation, just trust me, they're all really, really good. This crushes Exo Sister and Sprite. People have forgotten all about it. I'm going to bump it up and play the full ritual spell. The full field spell package. It's just, field spells are so strong right now. You have to take advantage of what mine is. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and they just haven't fixed it yet. So it's a part of the game. Got to play it. Too strong not to. Side deck, Kirikara, make sure you don't get cheated. It's a fire fairy, not a light fairy, so you can't search it off Benton. I just like having it, period, because if I can wipe my opponent's board in a reverse Dark Ruler, reverse Nibiru kind of way, this crushes Sprite. If they summon anything off of the Totally Awesome, they lose the Totally Awesome. Distributes for cost. A lot of people do not know that. This card is very, very powerful, and it's only $10. I would pick them up if I were you, but that's just me. Don't listen to me. Don't pick it up. Trust me, this card is very, very good. Reboot is another good card. I would play 3 if I had them, you know, and that was legal or anything. Reboot just smacks people sometimes, and then like Zeus in their board after that is nuts. But that's why you need the Mystic Mind too, because like Mystic Mind, Zeus them. Reboot, Zeus them, you know, and then it just wipes them completely out. Evenly is a card that I'm in love with right now because nobody's playing an answer. Nobody's playing an answer, and if they are, it's in the side deck with a card like a Pointer of the Red Lotus. I'm just only playing one. It's so strong, but I'm playing another card, which is Triple Tactics Talent, which allows me to look into your hand. If I ever draw these together and I like opened well and I went first, you lost. That's just how these cards work. Looking at people's hands is very, very underrated, and it comes up a lot. This conflicts with Prosperity in the main. That's why I'm signing it. If I wasn't playing Prosperity, I'd main this because Drytron makes you interact with it. Talents punishes you for interacting, and that is what it is with that. Triple Twin, because I hate back row, and Triple Lava Golem, because Lava Golem is so strong right now, and everybody's playing around Sphere Mode. I would consider Sphere Mode in the side as well, but a lot of people are playing around it, and the only matchup that it's really going to crush is like sometimes the Dragon Link Adventure, Mambo, Wombo, Jumbo combo, wild ass decks like that. But a lot of them, even then, they're only ending on 2 because they're just good players, and Sphere Mode doesn't catch people like Lava Golem does, and it's a time card. Guys, with that, and the extra deck being what it is with the Zeus, the double Fafnir, because you overlay 2 names, you can't do that enough. Beatrice helps you out when you brick. That's most of the time when I summon her in this build. Or if I'm sending the Mischief of the Gnomes, that I definitely will be siding going forwards. The zombie stuff, the zombie package, yeah, you crush Cyberse decks. I'm not that worried about them. Most of the time when I evenly them and they have to walk into what I'm doing, and then I drop their Dark Ruler them anyway. You see what I mean? You know, so if you're siding some of that stuff, I would probably only do the gnomes, just because having that on top, like even then you don't need it, because if you're playing the ritual spell packet, you don't need it in your side, but it's just good to have stuff that you can dump off Beatrice, so I would recommend it. As far as stuff you can send off of Diviner of the Herald, duh. I didn't play Ultimate Slayer today either. I didn't miss it. The last 3 tournaments I haven't really played it. The first tournament I played it, I got first with it. It was good. I kept getting anti-spelled. I took those out, put in evenlies, and that's pretty much been like a second Zeus. And like none of these decks are playing answers. Nobody's playing a counter trap. Even the tier limit players, nobody's playing crime. I don't know why they're not. They're high. So yeah, I didn't miss Slayer, but you do play Slayer if you can get to it in this deck. Baron is the Wombo combo essential to this deck because of the combos. Obviously, we'll get there. You'll see it. Boral Sword and Appaloosa. Boral Sword. Sometimes you don't even need like the kill switch link 4 because Drytron just puts pressure on the board on that level anyway, where they're either going to scoop or they lost anyway, or like Bathor blew them out. Like most of the time, you don't even need a link 4 to kill them. They literally just put 8,000 on the board and kill them. That's it. Appaloosa is a card I go into a lot. I wanted to play Underworld Goddess. I just couldn't find the space. And I want to play Downer, and I couldn't find the space. The space is getting kind of tight because of cards like Sprite Elf. And Sprite Elf is very, very good itself because of how strong it is with cards like Megalith Full. In case you didn't realize, Megalith Full and Diviner are both level 2. So because of that, there's extra stuff like being able to pull Diviner back on your opponent's turn and pop a card on their side of the field in case the Scythe didn't do enough and Bathor doesn't do enough. Sprite Elf being a part of your inboard is another interruption, so that's why you're playing that. As far as the other Link 2s, and you got IP Masquerena and you got Nightmare Phoenix, IP is not absolutely necessary, but it's still good to have. If you open all of the names, then you'll end on her plus Sprite Elf, plus other stuff to do, plus the Scythe lock that you have. Your opponent won't be able to play. Drytron can do that. It's not that many other decks that aren't the top of the meta that can do that. Drytron is a really, really strong rogue option. I still